to the Black Playing Games podcast episode. Episode a lot.
Episode 4. Some.
Episode: The Indie Revolution has begun, according to some people on LinkedIn. This is really funny. They're like, the Indie Revolution has begun, and it's like, huh. So it's one of those weird things. But we live in an industry and stuff like that. But my name is Jeff. Joining me this week is Josh. Josh,
What?
You're alive?
Oh, sorry. I drifted off into space and then I came back to Earth again. But anyway,
You thought I was going to rant about politics in World War III.
Almost.
He was just like, oh man, Jeff hasn't ranted about politics in like over a month.
No, it's like I thought you were going to start a rant, and then I immediately went into my safe space, and I'm like, all right.
Jeff's supposed to rant about something. What pissed him off? The Acolyte? Yeah, it's probably the Acolyte now. Leslie Hedlund.
Is it woke culture again? Oh man, I'm just gonna go back to my couch.
It's probably about how Leslie Hedlund made space lesbians uninteresting as fuck.
Oh dear. Time to go back to my space couch.
No.
Oh.
Don't go back to. No.
Never mind.
Nope. Space cows for you. Yeah. We'll do a quick thing. We'll get the sad topics out of the way, Josh.
Okay.
Layoffs happened. 3 studio. I think Avalanche closed down a studio. Timber closed down last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And another studio closed down over the weekend. That was from Paradox. So studios are dying. It's the end of the world as you know it.
For such a mass dropout,
it's
kind of nuts.
It's kind of getting to a point where I think people are like, okay, what the fuck's actually going on?
Yeah, did everyone just bet on blue and hope for the best?
Part of me thinks that what happened is a lot of people were like, hey, just, this group of people seems sane and rationally adjusted, and then they were like actually looking at it and they're like, oh no, all of our projects they're influenced by, oh no. And then on top of that, you also have if you ever want to see the saddest picture in the world, look at the G7 picture that recently came out and realize that every single one of those people is probably going to be gone in the next 2 years.
Huh.
Yeah. It's that kind of levels of insincerity where it's you're just I don't think that this is going pretty well. And a large portion of that really is the economy's in the gutter. So of course, games industry is in the gutter.
Yeah,
and it doesn't really help when you make enemies with the player base.
And it doesn't help that fucking Embracer also kind of fucked over a lot of studios, and then everyone else kind of fall suit.
Microsoft was laying off people long before Embracer even got involved, but I think Embracer was when the dam kind of finally broke.
Yeah. Maybe games finally got too expensive finally.
Well, tying into a topic last week, if you have a lot of people working on it, you have 100 people working on the game, okay? So 100 people working on the game, okay? So let's bring out our calculator. Okay?
Right.
And they're making about $70,000 a year. So we'll go $70,000 a year times 100 people. Okay, so we'll do one of the studios. So that's about 4,900,000 per month.
Okay.
Or per year. Okay. That's about $4 million. Okay. Let's say that you're getting charged. Let's say that you're getting charged with $7.7 million. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, plus 7.7, that goes up to, hold on, I gotta actually subtract 7.7 plus 7.7. 1, 2, 3. 70000. So suddenly we're looking at about 1260,000. Okay. How often is that happening? How many consultancy firms are you having? How many player groups are you having play this game? How many testers? How many conversations? What's the marketing budget of this game? And suddenly you get these really big balloon stuff coming out of the pipe, coming out of these companies and stuff like that. And it's just getting to the point where now you're starting to see like, maybe this is unrealistic and maybe we need a change. I think that, personally speaking, that my personal opinion, I think a lot of this stuff is really tied to kind of that kind of that bullshit where it's like a lot of this stuff is like, you have a lot of consultancies, they're all demanding to get paid. You have a lot of employees, they're demanding to get paid. And it might not be one or two people, but you have a lot of people working for you, when really what you need is you need to siphon studios off and be like, okay, so like this 100-team studio is really now needs, this 500-person studio is now a 100-person studio, and we're making 5 really unique games. Where maybe like your seniors are working on are working on the new Mass Effect and the new Dragon Age,
right?
And then your mid-level employees, they're working on the next generation of games and IP and stuff like that. That's something like that.
I've always argued for the point of like, it's not like you can't have a game studio that has like, I don't know, 200 or more people. But I always feel like, you don't need that big of a team for a video game and like to make it good at the same time. So it's like maybe keeping it a small team could work out in the benefit of the game itself to being better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as people are not overworked as shit, and they're at least,
as long as it's not North Korea.
As long as
or South Korea.
As long as it's not fucking sweatshop bullshit, like, then I can see the game being fantastically good at the other end, usually.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, as long as they're talented people, not overworked, and they don't absolutely despise the place that they're working for, I should be okay for the most part. I mean, there's other stuff to the equation of like, people have the talent and the know-how, but again, it's like, hey, if you do the bare minimum of keep making sure that people are respected, then therefore things should turn out well.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically this whole, like, how everyone's losing their jobs and everyone's fucking just like fucking fired. Like, it's like, come on.
And like, the thing that pisses me off about this, like, the thing that really pisses me off about this kind of ties into like a little bit of the culture war stuff, is like, you have people who are like going off about like a player, and it's like, right now you want to do this right now. You want to pick a fight with people who are buying our video games now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's not the time. Like, plainly speaking, like, no, this is not the time that you do this. And what we have seen is, like, recently in the past like month, the amount of people who got laid off in the past month has surpassed everyone who got laid off in 2023, which was about over 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 20,000 jobs that are gone.
That's a lot of jobs.
That's a lot of jobs. Yeah. That's a lot of jobs. And what do we get from our intrepid leaders? Oh, we're going to pick a fight with people who buy our video games.
No, you're the one that's wrong. What?
No. You're the one who refuses to do. You're the one who refuses to buy this game that's actual dog shit and should never be supported. You're the one who's in the wrong. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
Yep. Whoever CEO is so delusional or so fucking not into video games at all to the point of like, yeah, they could say that shit and think they're so fucking right. And it's like, no.
Man. And it's like, just, yeah, it's exactly that, Josh. It's like and then you have devs like me who are like, please shut up. You're not helping the situation at all. You're making the situation worse. This doesn't need to be here. Why the fuck are you doing this? Please stop. Oh my God, you're continuing. Why the fuck are you doing this? Please, for the love of Christ, stop. Oh God,
please stop.
Like, and like, I understand, like, there are some people who are like, you know, they have a political opinion and they think that they're right. But at the same time, it's like, 20,000 jobs is not a small number.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Japan, who is literally
probably increasing wages and shit. Like, they're doing fine. I think there's some layoffs, but it's not as bad as fucking the West Side here.
All of the studios all of the companies who have had Western studios have laid off their Western side studios. Yeah. So like, you have Square Enix, they've basically were like, they threw up their hands now and they're like, we're no longer fucking involved in this. It actually got so bad where they're like, hey, investors were like, Japanese investors were like, hey, what's this company, Sweet Baby Inc? We don't want them involved in any of our games. Can you do that? Cool. Fantastic. Just to name one other piece of news that happened this week. But like, you're starting to see the bullshit kind of like crack. But like, you have a company like Capcom who has been nothing but successful in the past like year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And they're not laying off anyone. And as far as I'm aware, that's a majority like Japanese studio team. None of Sega's teams, I believe, have gotten laid off in Japan.
I don't think so.
There's only one team. There's only like one, none of Nintendo's staff has gone laid off, as far as we've heard. Nobody from Nintendo has been laid off or let go. So it's like, okay, so what is the actual issue here? Is it just Western games, or is this something worse than we've ever imagined? Hey, come here.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a combination of like, it's the Western world / like COVID did its thing, and now we're probably hitting to the head with the, like, especially the big company that you have shareholders you have to pay attention to, starting to realize that video games probably should never be on the stock market ever, because these fucks don't give a shit about art in general. They just want to sell the next car every year. They don't care what it looks like, don't care what it does, as long as it drives. So it's like, if these guys just all they care about selling is a fucking box car to drive, then they don't deserve to be in video games.
I think that part of it is that you have a bunch of people in the industry who simply,
and the higher up CEO people are fucking stupid people too. Yeah, morons. Yeah. There's some good ones that are like, they understand what they're doing, but there's other ones that just crept their way through the system and now they're CEOs for some fucking reason.
I like Peter Moore. Why was Peter Moore never the CEO of EA? Like, that's a serious question that you have to ask. And I think Andrew's a really smart guy. I think he's a really good CEO.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes he says statements that are just like, he talks about AI. He's like, oh, AI is going to help out game developers and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, the people react negatively, and it's like okay, here's the thing that people need to realize about AI and game development. It's the advantage of AI in game development is going to be tons of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And like the thing that nobody talks about is like, oh, all I hear is AI, and it's like, oh my god, AI art and all this sort of stuff. Here's the thing. All I want for AI is me writing code and stuff like that, and then I go, oh, this is going to cause a bug down the road with this piece of software that is being implemented right now in this existing code. Here's how to resolve it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need.
Like, or even like, let's say your CEO is or someone in the design space is like, they're trying to make concepts and just use stupid shitty art from AI, and then going to the actual artists and go, okay, this is the general idea, make it better. Like that we both agree of like, that's fine, that's great. If anything, it helps get the point across even better. It's just that people think that, oh, this will just replace all these people that you have to pay, and it's like, no, it's not remotely that good.
The coolest thing I ever saw the coolest thing I've ever seen somebody use AI for was one of the designers on one of our games. This was before everyone got laid off, I think, or about a couple months. But we were using AI for helping us concept out basic pieces of technology, basic like characters and stuff like that. So you would punch in a prompt and be like, hey, we need to look at like a Spartan and stuff like that. And suddenly, like something that took like us like 2 weeks to come up with a pose and stuff like that, we could send to our partners, and our partners could look at it and go, I approve of that one. I don't like this one. This one, I need this change. This one I hope was good. And suddenly it made the process, instead of like taking like about a month roughly, it went down to about 4 weeks. Like, that's the stuff that people don't really understand and stuff like that about AI. Now, that said, do I think that like games using AI content and stuff like that as the finished product is good? No, absolutely not. But like, it's kind of hard to like sit there and like critique something when it's like the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or critique something when it's being portrayed as constantly the worst thing ever. Which is not true.
Constantly the worst thing ever. I mean, not Sarah. It's just gonna help people with general work first in some people's lives or whatever, and or just help pump out an idea, and then once you get that done, it's like, all right, and then you have to kind of then actually do the actual work of making it better. Because man, I know that you uploaded fucking AI making music, but it's so it's so janky now. Like, I do love how you just type in a prompt of like country music about my hurting balls, and it'll do a whole thing about like, your balls hurting.
Do one about a Canadian, and it was actually pretty good. Like, it was really, really well done. Yeah, and like, that's the kind of stuff that like I'm actually really interested in, because like the first thing I want to do is like I want to get like an actual band to record it and like alter the lyrics to make it really cool and stuff like that. But just for like placeholder art and stuff like that, hey, that's fine. Like, that's really cool that we're doing this stuff and it's actually working out quite well for us. But yeah, no, that's kind of it. Anyways, we were going to talk about video games.
Oh yes. Like, actually talk about the fruits of our labor, video games.
You played 3. I played 1.
Yep. Let me go back to that list, because I know yes, I played all 3. And the three,
you woke up
I
in the
guess we go
morning and you were
top
like,
down.
man,
One
I'm
of
gonna play video games, and then you were like, I played video games, and now I'm suffering from depression, and I'm gonna be great.
yeah, totally. It's just like, oh fuck, I feel great in the morning. I gotta make it worse, so I gotta play video games. But the
Yes.
one video game I started off with was Sulaco, and that's labor of love and fucking sci-fi coolness slash like you're actually a female protagonist who's kind of like more like Doom guy, doesn't say anything, but hey, you're just defending yourself and killing people left and right, and giant environments you could walk through. It was all sci-fi, so kind of cool. The game is basically, it's sci-fi. You start out with you waking up from a kind of coma / you were there for like getting healed from your last assignment, and then your hospital starts getting exploded for no reason, and then you get out of your hospital or get out of your hospital room, and then turns out that people are invading it trying to get to you. So it's like, well, that's not great. So now the mission starts with you trying to get out of the hospital, trying to find some weaponry, which they're surprised because it's the future. Weapons are everywhere, don't you know? And also your upgrades for your guns are also everywhere, don't you know? And basically, to go everywhere and just shoot up all the bad guys, find a little secrets everywhere. Get all your upgrades and fucking go to town basically on your foes. And the game's like, so basically what you're playing is like a Doom like, or I guess what a lot of people are kind of boomer shooter. I guess what they're coining it as is like you have all your guns, all your tools at your disposal, and you exploring the environment and trying to figure out what you can get away with. And also how fast and how much you can kill your opponents. Just kill your opponents real good. So for the environments are really well laid out, I feel. There's a few times though that I felt like that you're just getting a little bit confused of where you're supposed to go, but turns out that everything's going to be like a blue layout, and then once you start seeing green highlights all over the place, you're like, oh, that's probably where I should pay my attention to, and where to keep going in the game. And then it turns out that's actually pretty much true of like, oh yeah, follow the green, and you eventually get to where you want to go. Yeah, it's funny. I looked up. There was a patch notes from the dev on Twitter, and he said basically he made like 6 pages of patch notes, and one of the things he was also trying to address with a patch was okay, so people are having a heck of a time trying to find their way around in the environments, so he's gonna put like a nice little middle ground of like, okay, so maybe instead of because funny enough, the whole game is based on GZ Doom, which is, it's basically like a really elaborate mod, kinda. But the funny thing is that when you boot it up and you start playing the game, you go, oh, this is made on GZ Doom? Everything looks great. Like, it doesn't...
Oh my god, this game's based on the source Doom.
Yeah, like the source, like, you go... you look at everything, go, this looks good, and it feels good, and like everything about it it feels amazing. It's until you start going up against your foes, you start going, okay, that's Doom. They're the 2D 2D pallets that you shoot down, like you murder them and shoot them down, and they go, okay, that's a Doom, I know. But like the whole game is just, I feel oozing of like labor of love / like took a lot of time and detail with everything that you're doing, and there's like a lot of story development in the game with like you can read all these notes and shit on the floor, and also can tell you where the secrets are for some most of them. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, we're having a birthday party for Jill and she's preggers, and so we're gonna do also but like literally like the way that these people talk in the future, like I mean it's set in the future. These people are like trying to have lives, and then you start reading all these little pamphlets all over the place of like how they're. It's funny because one stage you go through, start running through the hospital, and one hospital part of the hospital has what looks like it's setting up for a birthday party for someone, and then it turns out that birthday party is actually a what's this? It's like a congratulations on being pregnant, of like you're gonna have a kid. So it's like, oh, this person is gonna have a kid eventually, and it's like that's great. But then, like, I think there's a subtle subtext within all these people congratulating her, realizing like her kid is probably someone else's kid. So it's not like the boyfriend's kid or anything. It's like, oh no, this might be someone else.
There's weird things.
Like there's some stuff going on. Yeah, and like, and also like, and through reading all these texts, you can get like, oh, I put a passcode on this thing so no one can get my special power up. Then hope no one ever finds it. And then you go, oh, thank you, and you go find it and get that power up. And yeah, like, and I think the best thing about the whole game is that there's literally no gun I felt that it was terrible.
Josh, on the tier list, you have to rank the guns. You have to personally say which gun is terrible. So here, like, okay, so you say the pistol, starting pistol, you go, oh, well, it's the starting pistol. It's okay. But the thing is, the game says it's a Desert Eagle, and it just, like, headshots like a pro. So you're just, what you're doing in the game is basically you just headshotting a lot, because it's like, oh, it just, you feel like you can knock out your opponents way faster with doing headshots. So you're doing that a lot with the pistol, and it turns out, yeah, the pistol's like just good with doing that. Then later on, you do get I think an assault rifle, and that is just like really good for covering fire and like getting, has decent ammo, but not as good as your pistol, which like can sometimes just two tap fucking your opponents. While the assault rifle would be like, well, 3, like hit your opponent for 3 bullets and probably dead, or 4. And also the last weapon I picked up in the game, the shotgun. Like, again, all the weapons I felt like pretty good using them. I never felt like I had a bad gun. The shotgun, I would say, it's just a little bit higher on that list, simply because, you go up to an opponent, you shoot them, the gun sounds like it exploded, and then the opponent you shot it at, it's just half of their bodies disappeared. There's just a spray of blood everywhere. You go, oh, this shotgun's real good, isn't it? That shotgun is something else. Like, again, like, it feels like you set off a C4 like round and they just explode, and you go, what happened? And you're like, oh, the guy's dead. So that's possibly the best weapon in the game. Although I do know that because it's set in the Doom engine and stuff, and the game, I'm just starting out in the game. I haven't got too far into it yet. But rocket launchers, and I think you get a sniper rifle. Like, there's a whole bunch of alternate fires for each gun I know you can unlock. You can get a grenade launcher alternate fire for your rocket launcher. So it's like all this flexibility eventually you're going to get in the game is just kind of neat. And yeah, like, I actually kind of stopped at the point where I actually got to the first boss. And he was kind of dunking on me, so I had to, be like, well, I'm gonna take a break from this game and maybe come back to it. But like, so from what I played, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. Best game ever.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Best game ever.
Yep, 10 out of 10. Then I also played Fallen Aces, which is kind of the same idea as Sulaco, except you're set in the 1920s or 30s.
So what I'm hearing is I have to raise the pitch in this section.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have to figure
God
out
damn
how
it!
to do
No,
a
you have to put the
filter.
radio
Okay.
filter on everything.
That's going to be hard. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something.
Make it. Yep, just start hearing us talk on the radio, and that's our
Hold on.
That's that.
No.
That wasn't it.
No.
No. What about this one? Shit.
Yeah, we should praise Space Case. We should always praise Space King. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Well, apparently I can't enable sound effects anymore and visual stuff. God damn it. God. Now I can't sound like somebody from the 1920s.
God damn it.
Fuck.
God damn it. But anyway, so it's a game set in the 1920s. The city you're in sucks ass. And someone's out there trying to kill you. You're a detective, and basically someone's out there trying to kill you. And for whatever reason, and the game starts out with them trying to invade on your apartment, and then you start beating ass, and then you start slowly going through the apartment, and then you start kicking more ass, and then you can sometimes pick up guns, although your ammo on these guns are very limited. So be prepared to pick up a gun, shoot it a couple times, and then I have to use it as the pistol whipping weapon. So that's about as far as that goes. And what else? Oh, tons of exploring. There's so much exploring to do. Just in the first little bit of the game, like once you finally get out of your apartment complex and you start going out on the street and start looking around, there's like no rooftop you couldn't get to. There's so many places where I was like, could I get there? I can. Can I get over there? I can. Can I just go over this way and that way? You totally can. Like, I felt like I could just go anywhere I wanted to, which was kind of nuts. Usually games I play don't give you this type of flexibility. This one did.
This sounds kind of like Shadow of Doubt. Yeah, like that weird, like, hey, we're developing a city.
Yeah.
Using. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of RNG based, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a weird voxel. You're a detective trying to solve a
Scarlet
mystery.
Maiden. Or a lot of the porn games that you were like,
probably a lot better.
A couple weeks ago.
Yep. Oh man, I was gooning that week. Okay,
so hard. I have to goon at least once.
Look, I got a goon. Okay, God.
9 years. What? Josh, why do you have to goon?
That's too long. No, you got to goon every 24 hours, or else it gets...
I was gooning every 24 hours per week.
Although I find it funny that, because it's the 1920s and 40s, or no, sorry, 20s and 30s is, that time frame. All the people you're fighting are goons. So, yep. Oh, frick. I had a quick thought in the game before, doing the podcast of like, man, I would have loved to talk to someone in the 20s and be like, I'm from the future. And I'm like, oh, bullshit. I'm like, no, really, this is what happens in the future. And it's just how I'm making all these details and I'm making all these like things about what's going to happen. And they're going to be like, that seems oddly specific. Huh? And then I go, yeah, you know what's even better? AI.
You know what sucks about AI?
Sucks.
AI.
Like frick, like I couldn't. I had like in my head, I had like kind of a script of like I talk to a person and they're like, no, just tell me about what your future. I'll love to hear it. And I'm like, okay. So I sit at a desk and I have a complex computer in which I do nothing but play video games on, and I talk to my friends on it through these special boxes with lights, and I can see my friends in the boxes of light because it's a complex technology using LCD technology, and it's just and then we also use AI technology to help solve our problems, but they're not very good at it, so we still have to do the problem solving.
Yeah.
Oh, frick.
Nice work, bitch. Man.
Nice work, bitch. But yeah, like fucking Fallen Ace is like it's the exploration is amazing. Like if you're gonna play, yeah, like it's lots of exploration all over the place, secrets all over the place. If you start looking for vents and stuff like that, you realize, oh yeah, there's a vent over here, and then once you find all the vents in one area, you realize, oh, I could have done this entirely different if I so choose. In fact, one level I've figured out, like, oh, I can get in through the bathroom and kill the dude in the bathroom before anyone realizes I did anything. And then I can come out of the bathroom, kill 2 more people, and then I was like, okay, only 3 people left. That's great. Like, such awesome scenarios of like, you can, or hell, you can go through the rooftop at one level, and I was like, oh, you can go do it this way. Oh, that's crazy. So crazy. And what else? Oh, like, yeah, like the story is kind of interesting because it looks like this is from a point of view of a detective in Gotham City. Because, like, hey, what? Like, it felt like this whole Fallen Aces is like, what if you're in the 1920s and there was a legit Batman? Like, the game makes references of there's a vigilante out and about doing, like taking out criminals and stuff like that. And then you're playing as not the vigilante, but you're playing as the detective trying to survive because someone's trying to get you. So, and it's just the whole thing feels like, oh, this is Gotham City, but it's not. Yeah, I will give Fallen Aces a 10 out of 10. It's like, I think so good exploration, and like the fighting's pretty good too. Like you can parry, you can block, and you can beat the shit out of people with weaponry you find all over the place. It's great, so good. Then I went back to Halls of Torment.
Well, we're going to stop.
I can't
quick
can't
break.
stop.
We're going to talk about Animation Plus, which is a new thing that got announced long this week. And then Jeff promptly forgot to post anything else about Topic Plus or anything like that. So Animation Plus is similar to Disney Plus, except for your favorite YouTubers.
I think I saw some trailers about that.
Yeah, so Animation Plus is basically like Cyanide Happiness, Flash Gets, and Flash Gets, Meat Canyon, all of these like stupid like little dumb companies and stuff like that. Happy Tree Friends, all of these old like YouTube stuff.
All these animation
they're making a new
people
kind of like streaming
animations sort of streaming service. Okay. Because YouTube doesn't fucking facilitate freaking adult animations like ever.
Yeah,
so
I just want more stupid things. Yeah, like I need
more stupid things to come out.
I need more.
Give it to me.
King. I need a Meat Canyon series. Like, here's the thing: it's like okay, Adult Swim did the best thing ever in creating Smiling Friends. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Adult Swim makes Smiling Friends, and it's the one of the greatest shows ever made with ultra memeable moments and everything. And And this is like, hey, we're going to do that.
Sure does.
And it's like, oh. You mean I get more of the landlord?
Oh.
Like more things like the landlord, where it's like, I was just wondering if you wanted to smoke weed and drink diet soda and play Burnout Paradise for the PS2. Like is that what we're gonna get? Is that are we gonna get ultra meanable things? Because if so, I'm for it. Because like I personally hate most adult animation outside of like 2 shows. Yeah, like
yeah. I mean,
Rick and Morty's pretty good.
There's some stuff I like.
Meh.
I mean, for me, I always appreciate the indie, like it's like 10, like I don't know, small indie studio making a thing, and having like the the production value to be like, oh yes, look at this really good animations and stuff. I'm like,
if you want to play Burnout
I want that.
the type of soda, and yeah, like stuff like that. Yeah, we need.
I mean, there's other animations I can't think of
Space King,
the name of the shows or anything, but I'm like, oh yeah, like Space King. There's the other one where it's from Australia. It turns out the guy's from space and he constantly wears a muumuu. Yeah.
Hello, Boss.
No, it's not Hell of a Boss. I mean,
well, I'm naming like adult animations and stuff like that. See, I haven't watched any of the actual like Has Been Hotel.
I mean, I watched a little bit of it and I'm like, it's fine. It's just that it's
and I stopped watching Hell of a Boss because I was like, this shit's getting really fucking.
It's getting gay.
Oh, it's worse than that. I was watching it and I'm like, okay, what is the show? And then I watched and they're like, we're gonna focus on the relationship between this gay owl guy whose wife is a piece of shit, and this gay imp who fucks anything that moves.
Yep.
That was just like, okay, cool.
I mean, here's the funny thing: between the Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel, I think I like Has Been. I think I like a Hell of a Boss more.
Yeah,
just simply because there's like actually shit going on.
I think that. Are you talking about the Amazing Digital Circus?
That too. I mean, because actually, I was talking the difference between the Has Been Hotel and the Hell of a Boss. I mean, I like Hell of a Boss more simply because it feels like there's like shit going on other than just these two people are gay and they have problems expressing they're gay, and I'm like, well, I get it, but it's like at least there's like, these people are trying to shoot them and kill them and they have to deal with that, and I'm like, good, just as long as it's not about expressing they're gay, because I get bored. I'm sorry.
Well, like it was like stuff where it's like the pilot was, hey, we're gonna kill people, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make this the entire joke of this entire like opening episode is like really like fucked up things, but we're gonna make it a joke. And then as this is in season 2, I think it was like the first episode was like, we're gonna explore the intricacies of like Solus and Blitzo, and I was like, okay. Ain't that interesting? No.
I mean,
I want more plot.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm trying to snack on a cookie and talk, and turns out it's hard to do.
Yeah, whereas like it's like if I get more Space King, I'm happy. If I get more Meat Canyon, that's good. I'm happy. If I get more Cyanide and Happiness, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Happy Tree Friends still existed. If I'm honest.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of surprised that's like they're still kicking around. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Happy Tree Friends was like around and like the thing I would watch over the Venture Brothers, and then I'd rather watch the Venture Brothers now.
Yep.
But yeah.
You know, with the Happy Tree Friends, I remember watching the first couple of episodes with a friend at computer class.
Yeah. It's the most fucked up shit on the planet.
It's so fucked up and so, like, yeah, fucked up shit possible that I looked at those few episodes and went, and this is not for me. Because this is like, it's so over the top and so gruesome. And, like, I felt like it was being gruesome. There's over the top gruesome where it has a joke, kind of like Mortal Kombat. Like, it's over the top gruesome, but you know it's not realistic, and it's not. There's sure a lot of red blood everywhere, but it's like that looks like 20 liters of blood versus like, I don't know, like it has 300
a realistic human.
Yeah, like realistic human like blood coming out or anything like that. It's over the top. Where I was looking at Happy Tree Friends and I'm like, this is just being kind of sadistic for sadistic reasons. And I'm like, I can't get behind that. I just couldn't. So I never watched them other than the 3 episodes I watched. And I was like, I tap out. I can't do this. I'm sorry. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
yeah, I agree with that.
Well, hopefully that animation streaming service works out.
Yeah.
I think the only problem I can see is that, like, because these are all indie animation people, trying to give constant updates would be a challenge.
I mean, all I need is like them to do one Space Camp. All I need them to do is just do a series,
right?
And then launch 5 series, and then just like continually pull in more and more people. Raise the next generation, get more people in, and then make more series. Because here's the thing: why, if I can get glitch mod in there, I'm excited. If I can get like, if I can not get new Hell of a Boss stuff and stuff like that, I'm going to be excited.
A flash in my head of an idea of like, oh man, what if they brought back Ruby?
Oh, dude. The worst television. Okay, the worst fucking crime against humanity.
Oh fuck! They would have to like.
I hate that show.
Oh, I used to watch it simply because again, Monty was not dead, and he was helping making the show. And now, like ever since he passed, I'm like, well, yeah, it's like, oh well, can't watch anymore. Like,
I was like, I watched the first episode. I think I watched like the first 5 episodes, and I did the exact same thing I did with like Witch from Mercury, where I was like, oh, this is bad. And then what it turned into was like whenever anyone would talk about Ruby, I would be like completely out of the loop. But like, you know, those fight scenes, they're really fun to watch. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean,
nothing else of the show is actually
that's the funny thing. It's like it was kind of just this kind of like idea from Monty, and he has this general idea of what he wanted, but he doesn't know the details of what he wanted, which I'm assuming that's what it was. So it's like, oh, I want to go from A, B to C, but then all the little steps in between, he didn't know how or why, but he's like, we'll get there.
I just wish that, like, okay, here's what I would like from
and
Ruby.
At the same time, it was literally just his fighting animations. That's all that anyone ever wanted was his fighting animation. So, yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to like Ruby, and I ended up disliking it. And I think that, like, slowly, I think that kind of, like, started me going, like, maybe I don't like Rooster Teeth anymore. Like, that was, like, the starting point where I was like, maybe I don't like this anymore.
Yeah. I mean...
But, I wasn't celebrating when they got, like, fucking killed.
They were falling from grace for so long and hemorrhaging money like crazy. So...
Well, like, think about what they did to Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
Like, Red versus Blue was the best Halo machinima ever. Yep. And they killed it.
Well, they ended the story, basically.
Yeah, like, they killed it.
Yeah.
They ended it. It's over. And then they rebooted it with different characters. They fired the original Caboose actor, who is now, like, really fucking, like, angry on, like, Twitter. It's really funny. Oh yeah, Joel Heyman's, like, fucking, like... You look at some of his tweets and it's like, oh, you're fucking angry. okay. But like stuff like that, where it's like, man, like you guys were on top, and you guys got involved with the wrong corporation and just slowly killed you.
I don't know. I kind of think it's just like the general over time kind of just maybe they expanded too fast, or they fucking just hired the wrong people to go into this company to do stuff. But like the allegations towards two people that they hired of like them doing, you know, fucking creepy sex shit with groupies basically, and also the other allegations of like other people used to work there and then being mistreated like crazy, and it's just like fuck, maybe that place deserved to go away.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like I don't know, man. That company was so good, and then they just killed it.
Yeah.
But we gotta talk about Nightmare Kart again.
Hooray!
And then we gotta talk about Halls of Torment.
No windows, please go away. Fuck.
Halls of Torment. So I played like 4 games this week, which all sucked. I played Counter-Strike. Woo. I played Counter-Strike 2, which is good, and then I played Nightmare Kart, and I played Halo Infinite, because of course I played Halo Infinite, because I love Halo Infinite. And I gotta be honest with you, I was playing Nightmare Kart, and I can see why a lot of people like it, and it's a very fun game, and I enjoyed it.
It's like a really good Mario Kart, but with...
It's a really decent Mario Kart game.
Yep. And instead of just collecting coins, you have to kill all these like zombo / monsters around the field. And also your competitors. Yeah. So it's just gets a lot of fun real fast.
I mean, the one thing I've noticed is like I'm playing the game and I'm like, man, I'm like 2 laps ahead of everyone, huh?
Yep. You get like crazy ahead and they're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And then your opponents start launching shit at you and you go, oh no.
I never had that.
Because I played it at least a couple of times, and I felt like there's always someone who was launching like equivalent of a bullet at you, and you're like, ah, shit, or a blue shell, and I'm like, ah, shit. Like, felt like that was happening, but I don't know. But I should go back to that and play it more.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I know. I had more fun with that game than I did with Hellblade. Because Hellblade's like, you play it and you're like, this is a weird auditory experience. And this game is like, you play it and you're like, oh, you're just a video game.
Yeah.
Huh. And like you're playing it and you're like this is a PS2 style game or PS1 style RPG looking. So it has those like really fucked up like graphics.
Right.
And you're like playing it and you're like, oh, this just nails all of those things. So it's really fun. Try quite a bit. I need to play more of it. I got up to the witches level and then I stopped and then I was like, I'm not gonna play this for a bit. And then I ended up being busy for the rest of the week, so yeah. But Josh. Yeah. You played Halls of Torment.
Again. I went back because I just wanted something that's a quick cookie of, I want to play some gameplay but not think too hard, so Halls of Torment. And it's funny because I kind of stopped at a point of like, I got up to like the 3rd dungeon you can get to, and I was like, I should go. But like, I kind of want to like, again, quick cookie video game of like, I could play this Halls of Torment again. I like the looks of it, and I kind of like how it's more, just a little more involved when you're doing things. And also the equipment you can equip to make yourself a little more stronger and stuff like that. The funny. The funny thing is that the more I play the game again, the more I'm like, oh, I'm still unlocking more things. I probably only unlocked like half. I'm probably still getting the other half now. And yeah, it's just funny because like now it's realized I can get re-rolls on the skills that you get from playing the game when you level up. So when you level up, you get like, okay, either, level up your strength, your dexterity, your intelligence, or turns out you have a bow and arrow, you're the bow and arrow person, so you can have multi-strike up the butt if you wanted to. And it's just like, like now I can re-roll those things if I felt like I'm just not getting what I wanted. And I'm like, to start getting that. And also it turns out in order to get more re-rolls, you have to go and find ingredients in the levels, and you have to equip the special medallion just so you can find these certain things of these levels. And it's like, this is kind of like, oh God, there's more to this. Oh God.
Can I make a... Yeah, that sounds like a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I make a suggestion for a game for
what?
you? Crypt Master.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I do want to play it.
Yes.
Because I do love the concept of like the narrator is just constantly talking to you and constantly like kind of like he's chewing the scenery type of thing, and the way he talks is like he's just fucking orgasmic, like on every word he's talking about. He's just so giddy. like he's so into it. He so loves it. And like, and the stuff that you type in, of course, it's a weird like typing. It's, if you could think of it as like learn how to type video game, but it doesn't teach you how to type. It's just for like, no, you're professional at typing basically, and this is the game for you. And also, it's a lot of like word puzzles and like riddles and what else? Like word puzzles. Oh, and trying to figure out what's in the chest. And like, and the crypt guy can look at the item, but he can't tell you exactly what it is. So you have to do like 20 questions of like, I want you to taste it. I want you to look at it and tell me what shape it is, or I want you to feel it and see it, like, tell me, like, does it feel coarse? Does it have hairs? Does it have feathers? Like, what is this? And then once you figure it out, it's like, now you can use the item. I think you unlock the words so you can get more spells so that,
yes.
you use these words.
Yes.
You use these words to unlock more spells. So that you get hints on your spells. So it's like, oh, it turns out this one spell that I'm working on, it's actually like, what was it? Like Punch Out. And you type in Punch Out, you unlock it. And it's like, oh, cool, I got this new spell for this one character. And the whole thing is super neat. I think it's just really well done. Like, oh, it's like a learning to type game, but it's such not a learning to type game at all. It's like, what was it? The House of the Dead, Typing of the Dead. That
Typing of the Dead.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I think it's Typing of the Dead because
Typing of the Dead.
It's the game where it's like it's similar to that idea, but it's way more RPG, way more slow down. So you can kind of kind of get the idea what you want to do and start typing out stuff. So. Yeah, like, even though I haven't bought it, I know a lot about it because I've seen 2 other people play it.
All I know is the game explains to you how to fucking, like, what is it? The game eventually starts explaining to you, if you don't do one thing it wants you to do, on how to fucking, like, uninstall it.
Yeah. Or no, it's like...
And it's like, oh, this game's great.
Yeah, well, it's funny because it's like the developer himself is explaining to the person, like, oh, you're a dumbass. You didn't bother to read anything, and now you're stuck, and you think this game's terrible. You may as well uninstall it and get your money back because you're stupid. It's like, damn! Damn! Yeah. Yeah, that game's pretty cool.
More video games like that.
Freaking... just so cool. Video games are endless possibilities. Just endless.
We need more video games like this.
Definitely. No, actually, there's a video game I've been seeing on Twitter, and I'm like, man, this just looks like arcadey fun, and it could have came back. It felt like it could have came out on the Sega Dreamcast, and it would have fit so well. There's this person on Twitter I am following who is making a rally game, but it's all set in car parks, like in those multi-story car parks and stuff like that. And it's just so strange and weird of like this concept of like, oh, you're rally racing. You're definitely rally racing, but you're doing it in compact, small spaces in these car parks. And you're trying to like weasel your way around corners perfectly. You're trying to drift around corners well, trying to get around these tight areas. And it's just this easy, small, digestible laps of like you're trying to get around as much as you can. And of course it's like a what was that, three perspective, what's the perspective, it's like 3/15 perspective. No, not 3/15, it's like
2.5D.
No, or sorry, I got it now, it's the third person. And like the way that the whole game looks and the way that how it like it just the way that it looks and feels, and like just from like what he's developing on, it's like, shit, I kind of want to just play this. It looks really good. That's a future game of like, I can't wait. I must want now. Gimme.
Gimme you all the things.
Gimme. Now I'm just going through on Twitter and I'm going like, can I find it at all?
See, mine is like, and it begins. Fuck. Welcome to World War III, where America's going to draft women. Fuck Joe Biden, screw 25 million that voted for him. People that voted for Joe Manchin should go be the first to fight. Yeah, apparently we're in World War III now. But hey, you know what? At least we'll send all of the femboys to the front lines. I've heard that one.
Yep.
So that's my Twitter. What's your Twitter like?
Video game development. Weird thing. Video game development. Weird thing. There's a video someone posted about an animatronic on the Disney ride not working, and it's just stuck in a T-pose. So that's pretty good. What else? Oh, more video game development on Crazy Things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like mine's pretty curated to be like, oh, I am not going to see some shitty stuff anymore. That's good.
I'm not seeing politics, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Yep.
People are bitching about WTC online, so.
Oh no.
And yeah, whatever. And Elden Ring Erdtree is apparently too hard. Who knew? Thank you for listening to the Black Mind Games podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday on blackmindgames.podbean.com. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app of choice. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Oh no, I found the trapdoor. Ah!
Riding on the thunder, the storm ignites the night. Flames of fury rising, the battlefield in sight. Warriors of darkness, in shadows we ascend. With ashes, force, and hellfire, our vision knows no end. Rifts of devastation, slicing through the air. The ground is shaking, the beast is everywhere. Shredder calls, the anthem of the damned. Unleashing metal fury with an iron hand. Shredder calls, the harbinger of doom. Screaming through the chaos in the metal tomb. Raging through the madness, our hearts are forged of steel. Beneath the banner blackened, our destiny shaking, the beast is everywhere. Shredder calls the anthem of the damned, unleashing metal fury with an iron hand. Shredder calls the harbinger of doom, screaming through the chaos in the metal tomb. Bringing all your fury, we stand as one united. Through the storms of darkness, our spirits undivided. Blood of the fallen, echoes in the night. Through the veins of metal, we embrace the fight. Rifts of devastation, slicing through the air. Feel the ground is shaking, the beast is everywhere. Shredder calls the anthem of the damned, unleashing metal fury with an iron hand. Shredder calls the harbinger of doom, screaming through the chaos in the metal tomb. The Shredder calls the final reckoning. With a roar of thunder, let the battle sing. In the hall of legends, our names will forever stand. As the echoes of our metal shake the land. You came through the madness, our hearts are forged in steel. Beneath the banner blackened, our destiny revealed. The legions rise in power, the thrashers heed the call. A symphony of carnage, the heaviest of all. In the eye of fury, we stand as one united. Through the storms of darkness, our spirits undivided. Blood of the fallen, echoes in the night. Through the veins of metal, we embrace the fall. Rifts of devastation, slicing through the air. Feel the ground is shaking, the beast is everywhere. Shredder calls the anthem of the damned, unleashing metal fury with an iron hand. Shredder calls the harbinger of doom, screaming through the chaos in the metal tomb. The Shredder calls the final reckoning. With a roar of thunder, let the battle sing. In the hall of legends, our names will forever stand. As the echoes of our metal shake the land.
And I see the waves. Okay, we're good.
I see the waves. I'm making dicks with my voice.
I am making PPs with my voice.
I am making all the PPs. I did some stuff on the game this week.
That's good.
Menu, I think graphics sound menu is basically done. I need to test it.
Good.
Graphics menus being worked on right now.
Good.
And OpenGL engine is going pretty well. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. So, yeah, there's things that I'm working on. Woohoo. And did you do anything on the game this week?
I'm afraid I did not. I was simply distracted all week. So
you were dealing with bullshit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Bullshit. I was dealing with bullshit.
All week.
Let me tell you the bullshit I was dealing with. It was bullshit.
It was so much bullshit, like you don't understand.
You have no idea how much bullshit I was dealing with. It was painful.
Man, there was so much bullshit. Like oh god. Can't handle it.
I was dealing with all of the bullshit.
Too much. Did I do anything cool this week?
You existed.
I exist. So that's good.
I sent Ben a meme. I'll send it to you. We'll see if you understand the joke. I also sent you a Tau statue, and then you were like, that's not gonna block any shrapnel or anything like that. And I'm like, Clearly propaganda. So, Josh, do you understand the joke?
I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out with me and smoke weed and fill our bellies with diet soda and play Burnout.
Burnout Paradise for the PS2. How about I just lock the door and
throw you out the door.
yeah. If you lay a hand on me, I'll blow the school sky high to smithereens. So what'll be? I love that scene with the paper clips. The fact that the paper clips are the thing that solves the problem.
Yeah.
All carefully. Yes,
Well-
all me.
Well, it's weird. It's that your nose looks exactly like the paper clips you're using. What?
What? This somehow works better than the paper clips. and then it turns into, hold on. This is amazing. And then he comes up again. And he's like, by the way, I'm not a ghost. I actually died. Well, back to hell with me. So anyways, we got that. I played Nightmare Kart.
That's good.
Yeah.
I decided to play Fallen Aces. Because I had it installed and I was like, I should really just play it for a bit, and played it for a bit. I did, and I went back to Halls of Torment because I played Salako, which is also something. Hold on. Of Torment and Salako. So basically, Fallen Aces is a 1920s, 1930s first person brawler / shooter. Because all of the weapons and stuff you get don't have a lot of ammo, so you're using it, and you're then using it as a weapon itself, as like a bludgeon weapon, and then you're running around and trying to get from point A to point B as like a detective. And then Halls of Torment is a vampire survivor like, which I think I talked about before. And then
didn't you say it's like a better Vampire Survivor?
It's what if they turned this one has equipment versus Vampire Survivors, where it's not necessarily equipment, it's like you just level up your main character the best you can. While in Halls of Torment you have equipment, so right off the bat you could just have like just insane amount of pickup range or whatever, and then you can also level up your character, but not as much as you would as like Vampire Survivor. Then and also Halls of Torment is like, at the looks of it, looks like what if Diablo 2 or 1 visual style. So that's pretty good. And then Salako is one of those games where you could tell that there was just so much care put into it, and there's so many little details about like when you're shooting a wall, you see all the bullet holes, and then like you realize, oh wait, when I'm shooting glass versus I'm shooting a wall, it like looks different. And there's like other little gameplay details that it's like, wow, other games wouldn't think of this, and this game has it. You go, that's impressive. And it's just this big environments you can go around, and it seems like nowadays when you go to play indie games of FPS, it's like, no, go explore this giant arenas.
Go have fun in this arena.
Yeah, pretty much.
Doing this.
Pretty much. And yeah, it's set in the future, and your character is just a badass chick who's went to the doctor for some reason, and then she's coming out of her, like comatose state, and then shit's going awry. So then you're trying to get your way out of this bad situation, and then people are trying to take you out, and then you find more guns, and you keep taking them out. I think I stopped where I was getting dunked on by a boss. I had to figure out the patterns of what he does. But I was
getting, Josh, you're the better gamer of the two of us. You're supposed to be best.
I mean, he was dunking on me a little bit, and I was like, well, I should be doing something else. So
I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing and just...
It's like, I have other priorities, sadly.
I am just not going to play this game anymore. Fuck you.
That's about right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. There's actually in Salico, it's funny because I think Civi did a review on it. Civi, or was it Civ 11 on YouTube? He fucking just went through the whole thing reviewing it, and yeah, he's like, there's no bad gun, all gun good.
Every gun good.
And especially
even
they're all
gun good.
Well, even like, here's the funny thing. You think you have a bad gun, then you go, oh no, this is still a good gun. And then you go, okay, this has to be the bad gun. No, this is still a good gun.
Why
and then
good?
Yeah, like every gun doesn't feel terrible to use. They all feel really decent. You can get also mods for your gun. So if you're like, oh, I really hate how the recoil's like crazy, you can turn that down. Usually there's like a give and take with those type of things. So, but it's like, so if you're like, oh, I want this SMG to fucking calm down, you could do that. You might get lower mag size, but you could do that.
So it's like bolt gun, which I did buy the bolt DLC for.
Oh,
man.
I mean, I guess it's like the bolt gun thing. I haven't touched that yet. I think I have it on my Steam account. I just haven't touched it.
You have 3 games that you have to buy and play.
I have bolt gun.
That is, you have 2 games that you have to buy. Josh, why don't you have Diablo yet? Or what was it? What was the game? Baldur's Gate, and there was another game I was constantly pushing you to buy.
What if Baldur's Gate ever hits $40? I'll get it.
Josh, it's gonna hit $40, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I bought Baldur's Gate," and then I'm gonna be like, "What?"
like literally, like it will hit $40 tomorrow, and then you send me a text message or something, and I'd be like, "Ah, shit."
I mean, all I'm going to be doing is probably applying for jobs and crying and.
As 'tis life.
I got an offer today or this week. I don't think I'm going to take it.
Oh no,
because it's like they're like, we're going to pay you $16 an hour, and I'm like, no.
That's not that, bitch. Do you not realize that minimum living is like 25?
Like I was making 22.
Yeah,
and my boss was like, why are you buying food on the company credit card? And it's like, because I need to eat. And he's like,
it's like you literally don't pay me enough. Like,
yeah. Well, this is the same company that like when I interviewed, I was like, oh, I could, if you paid me $45,000, that would be like the minimum I could go to pay my bills and stuff like that. But I would need more money if I wanted to eat. And they were like, and I was making about $70K, so I'd like to at least have that kind of in there. And I'm pretty sure that like they were like, oh, well, we'll just give them that amount. And the reason I took that job was because I felt trapped. I'm just going to plainly say I'm not getting paid enough in order to maintain. I'm not getting paid enough, and this is I can't do this. Period.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to be like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like what you are asking me to do, I'm not going to do for this amount. Like, sorry, like I don't really feel comfortable working this job.
I'm sorry, but you don't provide a living wage. Therefore, I'm out.
I'm just going to be like, look, I'm going to be like very plainly, I'm going to be like, I'll just be very honest. I'll be like, look, I did this once before and I'm not doing this again. So I need either a salary that I can trust or something, and I'm just gonna respond to the person I think this week, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I looked over it, and I'm not really happy with the pay, and I'm not gonna take it because like this happened when like I was like working at BioWare, like literally I had like an interview. And I was like, oh, I don't think I got this job, blah, blah, blah. And I actually took another offer. And then the next day I ended up like having to be like, hey, so I can't work for you guys. Shit. Phone doing stupid things. But like, I was like, I can't take your job because it's a bad job and I don't want to work for you. And it was a very similar amicable thing, but like I was just like, I would rather work for BioWare and make $70K and actually have a living wage that I could pay off my stuff, and that's kind of what ended up happening.
Yep.
So, anyways, shall we think and we can start talking?
I mean, I think we already talked, but. We are talking. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sync in 3, 2, 1.